Vice President Stockman. Here. Chief of Staff Sanders.
Present.
Chair Newby. Present. Chair Friends.
Here.
Chair Brown.
Here.
Chair Sawyer. Here. Office Manager Peralta.
Here.
Senator Johnson. Here. Senator Sukup.
Here.
Senator Splitstozer. Here. Senator Bortz.
Here.
Senator Haynes.
Here.
Senator Thapa is going to be late. Senator Shakar is excused. Senator Stout. Senator Tibbetts. Present. Senator Hennick. Here. Senator Hood. Here. Senator Rapp.
Here.
Senator Martin.
Here.
Advisor Johnson.
Here.
Dean of Students Dr. Grant.
Here.
All right. We're going to move on to approval of the agenda. See, we have a few items for old business. We have one, and a few items for a new business. Is there any amendments to the agenda? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda? Chair, Chief of Staff Sanders.
I move to approve the agenda.
Is there a second? Second by Senator Tibbetts. Everyone in favor of approving the agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Objections? Abstentions? Seeing none, agenda approved as written. Moving on to approval of minutes. Are there any amendments to the minutes? Only if they're not clerical, but very important. Okay, I see a spelling error. Newby.
Move to approve the minutes as written.
Second by Senator Tibbetts. Is there a dissent to approving the minutes? Seeing none, minutes approved as written. Public hearing. This is a section where anybody from the gallery or anybody from the Senate Assembly can speak about student concerns or any other concerns that they have. Are there any public hearing? Advisor Johnson.
Just want to throw something out there earlier on in the meeting. So I mentioned over Teams, but in a couple of weeks or shortly following spring break, we're going to be having interviews for our Associate Vice President for Student Life position. So we would like student senators to represent, they're doing an evening session from 5 to 7 p.m. on the 12th floor of Tamarack to be dinner with all of the candidates, each of them individually. Just an opportunity for them to interact with student leaders, to learn about student issues on campus, and to engage with, of course, a population of students that these folks might be working with if they are. So I have a sign-up sheet I'm going to toss around for folks to sign up if you wouldn't mind. Residence Life is also going to be providing some of their staff are going to be also the other student leaders that are at this. So if you are a Residence Life staff and are interested, go ahead and put yourself in the available as an alternate spot, but non-Res Life staff. So we love on-campus students, so if you're Res Life, please feel free to sign up. But Res Life staff, if you want to sign up as an alternate, see if you can fill it with non-Res Life staff. Does that make sense? Okay, pass it around. If the spots fill up, again, write your name in as alternate in case people need to change your schedule. So you want to make sure Student Senate is well represented.
Great. Any other public hearing? Seeing none, we're going to move on to old business. We have statement for the Prosper Act. I have added the additional information related to Bemidji State University students, which I got from financial aid. There's only information about SEOG students that I got. Other information related to work study programs, cutting work study programs. I have the numbers, but I don't know if I should use it because some of them are state and some of them are federal. So that's why I just mentioned it briefly. So if the Senate wants me to read the whole thing, I can, or I could just read the paragraph that were changed. Chief of Staff Sanders.
I move that you just read the paragraph that was changed.
There's second by Chair Brown. Is there dissent to passing this motion at hand? Seeing none, I'm just going to read the paragraph that were changed. So starting here, at first we just gave a background of what Prosper Act is and how it's going to affect students across the nation. And then we go into the opinion section where I say, though the attempt to revise the 52-year-old Higher Education Act is praiseworthy, it is important to pay close attention to what effect Prosper would have on college students and especially low-income students. Although Prosper does not directly address the public service loan forgiveness program, downsizing of the number of repayment programs would eventually eliminate the PSLF program, which currently exists to assist students pursuing a career in public service. This could potentially discourage thousands of students and their career choices. Moreover, we, the BSUSA Student Senate, believe the new weekly or monthly disbursements proposed under Prosper would be an unnecessary hassle for students as well as the institutions and might result in additional costs. Additionally, the one loan, one grant program under Prosper would increase the amount of interest accrued by student borrowers and would eliminate 1.5 million student aid grants. This would have a drastic effect on students at Bemidji State University in particular, since we have 821 students currently receiving Federal Supplement Educational Opportunity Grant, FSEOG. These students, who make up almost 16% of our total student population at Bemidji State, are under exceptional financial need, and the future of their education would be in substantial jeopardy if the Prosper Act is passed. Moreover, cutting federal work-study programs under Prosper would be detrimental to our students at Bemidji State and to students in other low-income areas across the nation. In a time like this, when students across the nation are questioning the affordability of college education, we believe this response to eliminate various loan and grant options for students is far from appropriate. Furthermore, in the wake of recent sexual assault and sexual harassment cases across the nation, the dramatic changes to the sexual assault investigation procedures under Prosper is absolutely unacceptable and portrays nothing but ignorance. Even though Prosper has several provisions that are worthy of consideration, the bill as a whole does little to stand up to what the name suggests. Where it is supposed to strengthen the educational resources for students and provide assistance to ensure success of our future generations, it proposes to eliminate the currently available opportunities instead. Therefore, the BSUSA Student Senate firmly opposes the Prosper Act. We urge the members of the United States Congress to preserve low interest and subsidized loan options, save the public service loan forgiveness program, and protect the rights of sexual assault victims on college campuses. Lastly, we urge students of Bemidji State University to contact their local representatives and express their concerns on Prosper. Any questions, changes, suggestions? So can we have a motion to approve this statement? Chair Newby?
I move to approve the Prosper Act statement as written.
Seconded by Senator Tibbetts. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, everyone in favor of approving the statement as written, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Objections? Abstentions? Seeing none, the statement passes as written. So we're going to post it publicly on all our social media and on the university website. And if we can, we will send it to our local representatives. Moving on to new business. First, we have candidates for Elections Commission. Chief of Staff Sanders, you have the floor.
All right, well, I reached out to a couple of you, and I have 3 names that I would like to nominate for the Elections Commission. Unfortunately, 2 of those are not here right now. So I'd like to nominate Senator Hannenberger, Senator Thapa, and Senator Martin. So because you are the only one that is here.
Senator Martin, do you accept? Okay. And the other recommendation was Senator Hannenberger. He's not here.
Yep.
So we can discuss the two other nominations next meeting. Today we have an application for Elections Commission that I received from a student, Alejandro Ketchel. I would invite Alejandro to the floor and please introduce himself and tell a little bit about why you want to join the student commission, the elections commission.
It's been a while since I've been up here, so I'm glad to see you guys doing work. Glad to see you guys putting in work and helping out the students. Yeah. So I got I guess kind of a little talk from newbie to think about joining again, and I wanted to join Senate actually a long time ago, but I never could dedicate my time, and I feel that my time for students is the most valuable thing I should do. So with my job, I had to kind of rethink of everything else. But with this, I can try to at least help out once more. So yeah, my what were the questions again? Is it why do I want to do it, or?
Yeah,
Okay.
why do you want to do it?
Well, my father used to run for state senate, and he said that the most important thing is to have a fair election so that everybody has an equal opportunity to see what they're voting for. And I truly believe that, in a sense, that everybody should have the equal opportunity to represent themselves to the student body and to choose the best senators or presidents that they can, that BSU can offer. So I hope to uphold that and to try my best to be fair and just in that sort of sense. So that is the reason why I hope I get the job.
Thank you. One of the duties of this position is to ensure that the candidates in the student senate elections are abiding by the elections and campaign guidelines and following all BSU policies. So how do you plan to fulfill this duty?
Well, to I guess first kind of read what the duty lines are and to, like I said, uphold them to each candidate so that everybody does have a fair and righteous run of a campaign.
Great. On your application, you listed, when asked what organizations you're part of, you listed Residential Life and former student senate, former student senator. Do you have any other affiliations with any other organizations which you would like to disclose in front of the Senate body?
Well, I guess I'm part of the soccer organization, but I don't know if that's valuable or not. So I'm
Sure.
kind of joined that a little bit. But no, Res Life has been a huge, I think, I want to say progression for me. Like I said, I've taken a year off of Senate and I've done my research, I've done studies, I've done my philosophy and done all that. So I've fully participated in trying to learn, I guess, a little bit more about how to, I guess, kind of do things like Senate. And then also, like I said, with Res Life, I've learned about human communication skills, stuff like that, kind of getting to the nitty-gritty of helping one another. So I think Res Life definitely has helped me in a sort of sense to at least come back, or at least try to come back to student senate with more knowledge.
Sure. Thank you for applying and thank you for being here. I would ask you to take your seat at the gallery. And our next candidate is Senator Martin. We do have all of the information from you from your Senate application and your Senate interview. Is there anything else that you would like to mention on your candidacy for Elections Commission to the Senate body?
I think I would just make sure that every candidate is held into the responsibilities of making sure they're running a fair campaign, and for that I would make sure to
Great. All right. Thank you. And with that, I would ask the candidates and audience in the gallery to be sequestered while the Senate holds a executive session of discussion and voting. And Chair Brown, can you please turn off the live stream?
Bye, guys. Back soon.
So we have the votes in. Alejandro Petrol, welcome to Elections Commission. You're our newest member for Elections Commission. And once we have the commissioner decided next week, then you will get to know more about the activities of the committee. Senator Martin, you're also voted in as one of our Elections Commission members. So congratulations. Moving on, we have a Senate resolution. SR 1801 presented by Senator Rapp and Chair Newby.
Hi, everybody. Chair Newby, Senator Rapp, or Senator Rapp. We're going to read this quickly for the sake of time. So, the first resolution of 2018, SR 1801, relocating non-reusable utensils in dining areas, moved by Emily Rapp, seconded by Connor Newby. Whereas plastic utensils are a daily accumulative type of waste, and whereas plastic utensils are easily accessible to students, making them a fast way to produce trash, and whereas having items out of open eyesight views, out of sight, out of mind, makes users less likely to put forth effort to attain the item, and whereas reusable metal utensils are accessible for usage and disposable / cleanup at every dining location on campus.
And therefore be it resolved that from this point forth, the Bemidji State University will relocate plastic utensil distributions to locations still accessible by food areas that students shall request to have to promote using unsustainable utensils and support BSU sustainability goals.
Now, to make this in layman's terms, basically, as we all know, in Lakeside, you have those plastic utensil dispensers. You walk up, you hit a button, you get your plastic fork, spoon, knife, whatever you need. It's a very common occurrence that even if students get their meals at Lakeside, they get a dish or a plate from the Chinese line, they will still grab from the plastic utensils area because it's easier, it's more efficient, it's kind of just habit. I know I've done it, I've had many friends who've done it. So by this resolution, we propose by bringing the plastic utensils, it's still available for like people who want to go and like people who get to-go dishes, but just bringing it behind the counter so that they have to be like, hey, can I get a plastic fork? Here you go. As they're walking out and paying for the food or paying for the drink. Makes it easier on sustainability, trash, and we can get the metal utensils that are down there used more often and therefore creating a lot less waste overall.
It would be pretty much the same tactic that we used for the to-go containers, because those used to be out in the open and now they've just been moved just out of students' sight. So that way, like I said, the out of sight, out of mind tactic here is just going for, you don't see it, you're not going to think of it as of using it quite as much, and hopefully reducing our plastic waste here.
And like I said, this is not eliminating plastic utensils at all, it's just relocating them to a different area so that they're used less often. Any comments, questions, discussion?
Chief of Staff Sanders.
Two questions that have to do with the workers that will be dispensing the utensils. First, how do they feel about having an extra 10-second step? And second, where would that actually be placed behind them? If I know the lines themselves, they really don't have a lot of excess space. So how would that be worked with? I yield.
The location I was thinking would be most ideal for actually putting the plastic utensils would be at the checkouts, not for each individual station, but at the, for example, at Lakeside, you know, where the little input area is where you can get a vitamin water or something. Where you check out right there, I feel would be the most ideal location to hand them out.
Great.
Answer your questions?
So, because each individual station, you can get it to go, you can ask for it to go. So therefore, you're asking students to take another 10 seconds of their time when they may only have 10 minutes to run in between classes to go to the station itself. That other station, if they aren't directed to, because sometimes they are directed there because there's no worker to actually, like they have one worker to make food but not check out. It's just kind of I understand what you're trying to do, it's just more of an inconvenience on time.
Actually, students wouldn't have to walk as far for the plastic utensils, because right now it'd be moving it closer to the Lakeside location, because right now they're located right next to the metal fork and spoon and knife area. So that's kind of like another 10 feet away from where all the food is. So it'd be kind of maybe another 10 feet closer for them technically.
Is there a follow-up, Senator? Yeah, go ahead.
So I now have to wait in line at the Beaver Mart station to ask for a utensil?
Technically, yes, but you could just go up and request, or if
It can also be moved to the
Yeah.
locations in which you get your to-go containers, and you can get a to-go, fork and plastic utensil at that station as well. This is, I think we relocate plastic utensils to locations still accessible at food areas that students have to request. It's not directly behind Bucky Beaver like the worker down there, Louise, or Lewis. Yeah, so I'm awful names. It's be right not behind there, but just in a different location where they will have to request. So say you're in the Chinese line, you come to the end, they hand you the things, say, hey, plastic fork. They hand you that as well. Not exactly behind the Beaver Mart, so you don't need to wait in the line that everyone does. You wait in the same line as usual, so that this will help reduce waste, and it will take literally just one extra, hey, can I have that, please?
I have Senator Haynes first, and then Senator Martin. Senator Martin.
I would just like to make a comment, like, to get your salad, like, to pay for your salad, like, from, like, the salad to go and, like, the Chinese, you have to go to that, like, place anyways, so if it was there, you still have to wait in line anyways. Like, so it's not really, like, discrediting time or anything on the students, because you still have to go to that place anyways.
And there can
So,
be multiple,
okay.
multiple
Yeah.
stations throughout
It doesn't
multiple
just have
food
to be one.
services around campus as well. There won't need to be just one central location.
You have students, Dr. Grant.
Did you ask Earmark personnel how this would play out? Did you ask me how this would play out?
No.
And I know the answer to the second question.
Yeah.
Did you ask, so answer the first question.
We have not yet, no. We can do that by the second reading, for sure, no.
Office Manager Peralta.
So is these gonna be like regular plastic, or are they gonna have like plastic wrapped around the plastic? Because I don't want somebody to touch my plastic fork, even if they're wearing gloves. That's gross.
It could be as easy as being the plastic as utensils. It's up to interpretation. I guess we haven't really thought about that. That's a good point, and we can take that into consideration.
Great. Any other questions, comments, concerns? If not, would the authors of the resolution wait for the second reading and bring back with some work on some of the suggestions that Senate suggested?
For sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief of Staff Sanders.
I move that we go through reports prior to the last new business.
Is there a second? Is that a second? Second by Senator Hennick. Is there a dissent to moving on to reports before the last new business item? Seeing none, we're going to move on to reports. Reports, cabinet reports. So I will actually start first. Earlier today, I got a call from the Minnesota Secretary of State's office. The Secretary Simon wants to come talk to the students at Bemidji State on the 13th of March. Unfortunately, that is our spring break, which I told his assistant, but they have a driving route and they would have to come that day, and there's no way to reschedule that. So I told her that I will let her know by the end of the week if we can arrange at least a few students, maybe 5 or 8 students, just to gather around and meet up, have a certain location and time. The time is actually from 11:15 to noon. We'll have to meet the secretary at that time, and students will get to ask any questions or express concerns about anything. Literally, could be higher education, could be anything related to Bemidji or Minnesota in general, to the secretary. And secretary is willing to answer those questions, take feedback, and they're going to try and see if they can support some of those concerns. And another thing is Bemidji has always participated in the ballot bowl, which is a competition. It's a voter registration competition where all campuses across the state compete to have the highest number of students vote. So we will be doing that, and that's why it's a good opportunity to actually talk to the secretary about any demands that somebody might have. So can I get volunteers for March 13th if you're staying here? So, yeah, Chief of Staff Sanders.
What time on the 13th?
11:15 p.m. I mean a.m.
No.
Like,
Senator Hennick. Okay. Office Manager Bell. Yes. Okay. You too. Okay. And you? Maybe. Okay.
75%.
Okay. Great. Yes. Chief of Staff Sanders.
Just a quick suggestion for those that are not going to be able to attend. I think it would be great for us to gather a couple of questions or comments from the rest of the Student Senate body that we can all discuss. So if you have any questions, you can get it to us by next meeting, or just get it to us through Teams. That way we can give complete voice of the student body.
Great. Any other volunteers? Okay. All right, great. So moving on in my report, unfortunately, I have a resignation letter from Senator Merkling, and it reads, I regretfully inform you that I will be stepping down from Student Senate. Between Senate, the education program, and being an RA, I'm finding hard to give 100% to each thing, so I'm stepping down in order to keep doing my job and my schoolwork to the best of my abilities. I wish you all the best and keep making positive change. And I have one more thing. If you're interested in Bemidji Day at the Capitol, please let me know. We have to apply for them by March 5th. So please let me know after meeting or via Teams to get around. It's on March 21st. So we'll leave early in the morning around 5 a.m. And then we'll come back later in the day. Right. I'll answer any questions about that after the meeting for the sake of time. And moving on, I won't be able to, I won't be here for next meeting, so Vice President Stockman will be running it. I will be in Washington, D.C. for federal advocacy. And with that, I yield. Any other cabinet reports? Vice President Stockman.
All right, so Community Service Day, or days actually. So the best time that worked for the food shelf was actually this Friday and Saturday, both days. What we would be doing is moving furniture and disassembling furniture so that they can wax the floors inside, and then on Saturday be moving them back into the actual room to reassemble and get everything organized again. The day, or it would be Friday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. for moving furniture out. And then Saturday, it would be 4 p.m. until finished. So moving the furniture back into the same room. And it would be at the food shop. Is there any questions? Yes.
Chief of Staff Sanders.
I'm available for that.
I can definitely take down names. It's kind of like,
yeah.
Ash and I quickly kind of discussed it. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, it's like good to have it on 2 days because like you can't show up to one, you show up to the next one, and it's on a weekend. So if you are able to go, please come. I don't know if you want to set up a carpooling thing or just.
So just to reiterate, just to clarify, you're talking about Friday or both days?
Both days, I guess.
So Saturday, actually, everyone, or at least most people in this room, said that they can make it on Saturday, and that's why we set it up for March 4th, I believe. So this is the Community Service Day, which all of you are required to attend. If you can, this is one of the 2 opportunities that you'll get throughout the semester to complete your hours of community service. Senator Martin.
I would just like to say that we, like previously, we all agreed that it was March 4th, which is a Sunday, that we were on that Saturday.
They can do March 4th because the person who runs it is, she's out of state. So it would be the second.
So I would just say, can we do a sign-up sheet for that and have it go around?
Yeah, totally.
Great. Do you have anything else for your report? All right. Any questions for Vice President Stockman? Seeing none, any other cabinet reports? Chair Brown.
So if you're at committee, we are still working on the Love Has No Labels video. We kind of got a little bit more done last week. Still in the process of getting like a script written and that sort of deal. So if you have any suggestions, want to be a part of it, anything like that, I'm sure reach out to me. And then we are still trying to get active on our social media too. So if you could all add, we have the Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook so far. So I yield.
Any questions for Chair Brown? Seeing none, any more cabinet reports? Chief of Staff Sanders.
For the legislative committee, we have got a couple of policies that we've reviewed so far, and I'll just kind of quick go over them. The first one is the administrative texting policy. Pretty much goes over any time you receive a text from the Bemidji State University and what they can and cannot send you. The only thing that we changed in the verbiage is we added the sentence, students have the option to opt out of text messaging features at any point through the same method as which the student opted in. Pretty much giving you the availability. Once you're in, you're not in forever. So that was that change. Any questions? It was last reviewed, not by us, on 5/1/17.
So your intention is to have a conversation with Dr. Westhoff to let you know that you have made this recommendation and protection policy.
Yep. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sending a written kind of review on why we've decided to suggest these changes as well. Would you suggest that we have an in-person meeting as well?
Well, yes, but that's going to make it happen.
Okay, thank you.
So actually, the legislative committee is going through reviews of all the policies,
Sure.
and we're going to bring the final reviews that the committee recommends to Senate for approval, and then we're going to send them out.
Well, just for information, the policy meetings once a month. So it's best for you to kind of get them in advance of that way.
And then the other policy that we have gone over is the alcohol and drug policy, where we just changed a couple of grammar and sentencing structures in accordance with that. We will be tomorrow going over 5 different ones. If you are able to join, it is at 4 p.m. at the Student Senate office. The policies that we'll be going over is the report/complaint of discrimination/harassment investigation and resolution procedure. The very long one. All right, the preferred name procedure. The gender identity and expression acceptance. And we will be going over posting policies. So those are the 4 that we will be going over tomorrow at 4 p.m. at the Student Senate office. Any questions for me? All right, I yield.
Okay, any other cabinet reports? Chair Friend.
Okay, so first, I am looking for senators to join my committee. Second, I am creating a textbook affordability task force. I am currently in contact with Derek Webb about faculty senate textbook affordability, including food ed and grad student compensation.